guys write down. Let's hear from 3 people. How can this change the world? Skylar, how about you go first?
Well, I think we all have to have like a bit of hope. You know, if we don't have that hope, we can't. We're just gonna like sit down and just stop. We always have to have that hope. Things getting better, or like whatever reason. And we all lose that hope at sometimes, but I think it's important to keep that so you can remember that it's worth it. Remember that it's worth it. So
Yeah, so good. So whether the hope comes from within or you find it in someone else, just always finding that hope. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, you just stop. We need that. Okay, Grant, what'd you say?
I just said that, like, even when you're in tough times, be persistent. Okay,
Okay, you're gonna find a way out of it. Be persistent. You can do this. There's always an end. Okay, Logan, how about you? What'd you say?
I would say hope is good because it gives you the confidence to keep going.
Yeah, hope gives you confidence. So good, guys. How can this change the world? How would this change the world if everybody started singing or started finding hope when we were like at our wits' end? How would that change the world? Kara, what do you think? Yeah, oh my gosh, there's so much more being accomplished, right? So good, I love it. Okay, guys, wonderful job. Cam, go ahead and take a picture of this really quick before I pull it off the screen. All right, you know what time it is? Pop quiz time. So everybody open up Canvas, you guys should already be on there, and go ahead and let's do our health insurance pop quiz just like last time. We're gonna have 2 attempts to do this, so don't be stressed if your first attempt is not good. Let's just kind of see how much you know about health insurance so far in your life. We're gonna take the second attempt after our lecture, so you guys can see how much more you know, and you'll definitely get 100% at that point. So go ahead and take the health insurance pop quiz. Okay, somebody already took it, so far we're at 50%. Not bad for the first time taking this quiz. Just do your best guess.
Joe Stewart.
69%. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Somebody got 92. That's really good. Still passing, really good. It's okay if you get a really bad score, it's gonna go up. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute to finish this up. Let's see how we do as a class. When you guys are done taking the pop quiz, go ahead and open up FL22 notes. FL22 notes, go ahead and open that up. All right, 60% is our average score. Let's see how much it's gonna go up. All right, FL22 72 notes. Go ahead and get those up and running. While you guys are pulling those up, I have some questions to ask you to kind of open up this conversation. So I want to know at least 3 risks you guys take every day. Obviously, our life is full of risks every day. We're so used to them, we don't even think about them anymore. But what are the risks we take every day?
Driving can sometimes be a risk.
Driving. How many of you guys drive your own car to school or drive a car to school? How many of you guys this year have gotten in an almost accident? So like most of you guys have gotten in an almost accident. That's crazy. How many of you guys have gotten in a full-blown accident? Okay, but good. Okay, not too many, thankfully, but a lot of us have gotten in almost accidents. So every single day we drive our car is a risk. Okay, what other risks do we take? Yeah.
Eating food either from the school or like
Yeah, every time we eat food, we can choke. We can get food poisoning, right? Maybe one day we'll get diabetes. All of these risks. Okay, what else?
That's a big risk.
What other risks do we take every day? Yeah.
showing up to school.
Why is that a risk?
People should have
They sure are. Every day we're taking a risk, relying on humanity to act normal and cool and not be crazy. That's a risk we gotta do every day. Okay, what else do we got? What about like telling that special someone how you feel? Is that a risk? It is a risk. All the risks. Walking down the hallway, you risk you're gonna fall, right? Okay, so we have all these risks all the time, right? And we're pretty risk-averse beings. And we don't want to die, we don't want to get hurt, and we don't want our heart broken and all of these things. You might get thank you. We have all these things we're trying to avoid. How do we protect ourselves? Either consciously or subconsciously. How are we always protecting ourselves? What do we do? Yeah.
taking like precautions.
Like what?
Like, well, driving, for example, like, like to do beforehand and then how to handle that situation.
Yeah, we're like always thinking one step ahead with driving, right? Aren't we looking at all the cars around us while we drive? Don't we kind of do that? We're seeing what they're doing. How many of you guys wear seatbelts every time you drive? Okay, good. How many of you guys need to start wearing seatbelts every time you drive? Okay, how many of you guys made like some sort of pact where you're like, I am not gonna text while I drive? Like a personal goal. How many of you guys need to make that a goal right now that you are not gonna text while you drive? Good, I love it, awesome. We can always do better at that. Okay, what about like, do we trust just any person in the world?
Yes.
Do we trust just any person in the world? Or are we kind of selective of who we trust with certain things?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're trying to read people, right? We're trying to gauge our safety, all of this good stuff. Okay, how do you think this relates to insurance, to health insurance? Who can tell me? Yeah, Cam.
You're not left with a ton of money after the fact because you've been paying.
Yeah, you're protecting yourself, right? Because we all know our bodies are fragile. Something very bad could happen to them. Insurance is the way we protect ourselves from the risk of just having a human body, right? Okay, let me ask you guys a question. How much do you guys think one overnight stay at a hospital costs? One night. Give me like one finger for 1,000, 2 for 2,000, 3 for 3,000. If you think it's more than 10, give me blinky fingers. How much do you think an average one night stay costs? Okay, I'm seeing 7, 6, I'm seeing blinky fingers, 10, 7, 4. Okay, drum roll guys, are we ready? Here we go, we're down. 11,700. And this is like a couple years old, so it's probably more now, okay? Let's look at this really quick. This is how much people are charged for the same average night stay depending on the insurance they have. This seems weird, right? Why in the world would hospitals charge different people different amounts based on the insurance they have for the same average night stay? Go ahead and turn to your neighbor really quick and just try and come up with why this would be. Just turn to your neighbor really quick. Talk about why that would be. Why in the world would a hospital charge different people for the same average night stay, different amounts? I especially want you guys to look at this. The uninsured person. Why is the uninsured person charged the least? Yeah.
Because they have to pay that whole 9,000 out of their own pocket, but if you have 11,000, you have insurance, but insurance pays for it.
Okay, so this is more affordable. Okay, so maybe they're gonna charge the uninsured person less.
Yeah.
Okay, any other thoughts? Why would they charge different people different amounts? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could depend on their condition. Like if someone's in like really critical care, they're obviously gonna be a
lot more than someone who's like spraining their ankle.
Totally, okay, and maybe people who are on Medicare are older, and so maybe their expenses tend to be more anyway, right, than maybe a private insurance person. Okay, before any of you guys feel like hospitals are mean, evil people charging over $11,000 for one night, so I got my degree in healthcare administration, I worked in administration in hospitals, and I can tell you the sad reality is the majority of hospitals are breaking even or losing money every single year, okay? This $9,800 number that they charge an uninsured person, it's not like they're charging them this amount, this is the real amount, and then they're like upping the prices for these people just because they have insurance. They are losing a lot of money by only charging $9,300 for uninsured. But like Carson was saying, it's better that they get $9,300 than nothing, right? Right? So they look at people and they're like, they don't have insurance, this is gonna be an enormous bill. We'd rather get something and create a more affordable payment for them, okay, and lose money. And maybe they have to raise the prices of people with insurance to make up for it, right? But I can tell you guys right now, hospitals are not making money, okay? Why aren't hospitals making money? Why in the world can they charge $10,000, $11,000, $15,000 a night and still be losing money?
They gotta have 24-hour staff and also equipment.
Yeah, the equipment is so expensive for hospitals. Staff, doctors, they have big salaries, right? 24 hours, which means you're paying more people to work throughout the night, more money than you pay them during the day. So much, right? Now, hospitals are required by law to take any person in,
Sorry
no
for the
matter.
interruption. Can we have Grant Lovett to the office to check out?
See you, Grant.
Thank you.
They have to take everyone. They're required by law to take everyone, which means even if they're homeless, even if they're uninsured, even if they don't have a dollar to their name, they need to take care of them, okay? So that is definitely gonna eat into their profit too. So not only are they really expensive, but the amount of people who come in that aren't gonna pay their medical bills that they are required to treat, it kind of raises the prices of everything else, right? And even then, they're probably losing money. Chances are they're not making money. So I don't want you guys to feel like the hospitals are the bad guys here, okay? Okay, how does health insurance work, you guys might be asking. Let's go ahead and watch this short little clip. There's 3 vocab words in here that if you learn these 3 vocab words, you guys understand insurance, okay?
You're deciding which insurance.
Hold on. The anticipation is just making you want to learn this stuff more. I know.
You're deciding which insurance plan to purchase and want to know how much is it.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
You should teach us.
You're
Okay,
deciding which
not gonna touch it.
insurance plan to purchase and want to know how much is it going to cost. Well, it's not so simple. Sometimes you pay money toward your health care. Sometimes the insurance company pays money. But when? To figure it all out, there are 3 main ideas you need to know. Premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket maximum. It may sound complicated, but stay with us. It's not as hard to understand as you think. First, premiums. Think of your insurance as a monthly membership. Every month you pay the same amount in order to be a member. That amount is your premium. With your premium, say $200 a month, you get some preventive care for free. This includes care like vaccines and screening for diabetes, cholesterol, and breast cancer.
Okay, let's talk about a couple things. So our premium is like a gym membership, right? Whether or not you go to the gym, you still have to pay that monthly fee, right? The same thing with health insurance. So that premium is the monthly amount you pay no matter what. Now, just for having this membership, for paying this monthly fee, you get some free stuff. Now, it's probably not out of the kindness of the insurance company's hearts, so why would it be financially beneficial for them to offer you things like vaccines and preventative care? Why do you think? Yes, in the back.
So it doesn't cost them more money than
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, because a health screening, a cancer screening is a lot cheaper than you having cancer. A vaccine is a lot cheaper than you getting like polio or something insane, right?
Care is covered by your premium, but
Okay, what is a premium? The amount you pay to buy an insurance policy? A specified amount of money that the insured must pay before an insurance company will pay for a claim. Which one out of these 2? just for the privilege of having it. Perfect.
Need more than just preventive care. If you need a health service beyond preventive care, illnesses, a broken leg, emergency room visits, you usually need to pay extra. How much? Well, that changes over time. There are 3 main stages. First, you pay. Then, your insurance pays some, and you pay some. And finally, your insurance pays everything. So how does this work? In the first stage, at the beginning of the year, you pay for most of your health care until you reach your deductible. Remember that word? Deductible. A deductible is the amount of money you have to pay for your care before the insurance company will share the costs. So let's say your deductible is $500. That means almost every time you get health services, you will pay for all those services until you've paid a total of $500. It's like you're filling up a bucket. Once you add enough to that bucket so that you've paid your whole deductible, then everything changes. Then you enter into the second stage. Now every time you get health services, your insurance company will share the cost of those services. How much? That depends on your plan. Usually, you pay part of the cost, fees called co-pays or co-insurance, and your insurance pays the rest. But this,
Okay, who typically pays for healthcare expenses once you've met your deductible? So stage 2. Just insurance, just you and your insurance. You and your insurance, perfect.
stage doesn't go on forever. If you reach a certain amount, you won't have to pay for any services. Remember that bucket? Every time you fill it with co-pays and co-insurance, your insurance company is keeping track. If you fill that bucket up to the top, everything changes again. You enter stage 3. From this point on, your insurance company pays everything for the rest of the year. That's right, every dollar of your health services paid by your insurance company. So what's at the top of that bucket? It's called your out-of-pocket maximum. This is the most money you will pay for your health care over an entire year. So let's say your out-of-pocket maximum is $2,000 after you pay your $500 deductible, and if you pay an additional $1,500 for various health services, you hit your out-of-pocket maximum. From then on, you don't pay a penny more for covered healthcare services. It's important to note that every year, this starts over. So next year, you go back to stage 1 and need to meet your deductible yet again. So,
Okay, so what happens when you've reached your healthcare deductible and out-of-pocket maximum? What magical thing happens? Insurance pays for all of it. This is why, you guys, when you hear of like older people, maybe like your parents, people who have a lot of health problems as they get older, sometimes people try and stack all their really big medical expenses in 1 year. Okay, the next big expense a lot of you guys are probably gonna have, assuming you don't get in a bad accident or anything, might be like choosing to have a baby, right? So maybe like a handful of years down the road, you and your partner choose to have a baby. That is a lot of money, right? That's probably gonna hit your out-of-pocket max. So maybe you're like, wow, my knee's been bugging me. I think I'm gonna get knee surgery that same year, right? Or whatever's been hurting, I'm gonna go ahead and get tested for this, right? And people try and pack these health expenses in 1 year so that you can reach your out-of-pocket max, right? To try and save money, because every year it starts over again. So if your out-of-pocket max is $10,000, but you spent $9,995, you can't reach it. You don't get to hit it, right? And then you start over in January again. Does that make sense?
review. You pay a monthly premium to get into the club and get many preventive services free. You pay for other services until you meet your deductible. Then, you and your insurance company share the cost of health services. You pay co-pays or co-insurance, and your insurance pays the rest until you hit your out-of-pocket maximum. After that, your insurance company pays everything. So, how much does your insurance cost? You will at least pay for your monthly premiums, and at most, you will pay for your monthly premiums plus your out-of-pocket maximum. It all depends on the plan you choose and the care that you and your family need. You can get free help from a healthcare.gov assistant to choose the plan that's right for your family.
Okay, guys, let's run some numbers. let's make sure that we understand this. Okay, everybody turn around and look at this board really quick. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Here we go, here we go. Okay, let's say this is our health insurance plan, okay? We have a monthly premium of $500, so no matter what, we have to pay this, okay? Our deductible is $2,000, our out-of-pocket is $6,000, okay? So when they're talking about how you and your insurance both combine together to pay their bills, most common is a 20-80 system, where you pay 20% of the bill, your insurance pays 80% of the bill, until the amount that you've paid, this 20% over and over and over again, reaches your out-of-pocket, okay? Now there's different ones. There might be 30, 70, 50, 50, it depends on your insurance, okay? For here, let's just say we're on a 20-80 plan. So on January 1st, you're starting all fresh, all over, okay? You get in some sort of accident, let's say you're skiing and you crash and fall and you break like your shoulder, whatever, this whole area, okay? You need surgery. After surgery and x-rays and everything, let's say your bill is $12,000. So for the month of January that I get this bill, what am I paying in total? What am I for sure paying no matter what? Okay, I'm for sure paying $2,000, okay, because I haven't hit my deductible yet. Okay, so I'm for sure paying $2,000. Okay, what else am I for sure paying this month? $500, right? Because I have to pay that whether or not I have any medical bills at all. So this is my $500. Now this premium amount is not going towards my deductible or out of pocket, right? I just have to pay that for the privilege of having insurance. So I'm paying this plus my $2,000 to hit my deductible, and then I hit my deductible, and the remaining amount is how much? How much is remaining of this loan?
10,000.
So this bill is for $12,000. I've paid $2,000. How much is left that needs to be paid? No, because this does not go towards my deductible. This is just for the privilege of having insurance.
Yeah.
So I owe $10,000 more, okay? But I've hit my deductible, which means me and my insurance get to share it now. So then, how much do I pay out of that $10,000 debt? Another $2,000, right? Because I'm going to be paying 20% of that remaining bill. So another $2,000. So this $12,000 bill for the month of January, I am paying $4,500. A lot better, right? I mean, ideally, we wouldn't want to have anything like this happen, but it does happen, right? So $4,500 is pretty okay. How much more do I need to pay into the system before I reach my out-of-pocket? Remember, this 500 is just not going towards anything. Another 2,000 in addition, right? So if I pay another 2,000, I'm done. I don't need to pay anything else. So not too bad, right? It ends up being a little bit financially beneficial. Okay, here is a question that I feel like you guys have, and I think it's a very valid question, which is, hey, I'm young and healthy, right? Speaking for you guys, not for me, right? I'm young and healthy. Why do I need to spend $400, $500 a month for insurance? Doesn't that seem kind of crazy? I'm pretty risk averse. I buckle up. I don't look at my phone while I drive. I'm not a skier. Whatever. I'm pretty healthy. Is it financially worth it for me to do this? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Why do you think, Rob?
Because accidents always happen. Things happen in life.
Things happen in
It's
life.
better to be prepared than unprepared.
Okay. Anybody else disagree? When you guys finally get your job, your first job, right? This is going to seem like a lot bigger of a sacrifice when you're having hundreds of dollars just go away for insurance. So let's kind of run the numbers, all right? Let's run the numbers and see if this really is worth it.
Our health insurance bill is going up again. For what we pay every year, we could add another room onto the house.
Sheesh, you're right. It seems like we're paying more and more for a service we barely use. I mean, I yoga and eat all my veggies, and we hardly ever get sick.
Now that we're no longer required to purchase health insurance, it makes me wonder, should we be paying
Fix your
for it
phones
at
up
all?
away.
We pocket premiums ourselves, and if we get sick or hurt down the line, we can just use that money to pay the bill.
But what if we have a serious injury, like your turkey fryer incident last Thanksgiving?
No sweat. We can just crowdsource money for the bills. I see people on Facebook fundraising for medical costs all the time.
Great. Although I do think you should quit your extreme parkour.
Only if you quit my juggling.
Deal.
Have you ever found yourself wondering if you should just skip out on this whole health insurance thing? If you don't have coverage offered through your job, it's a pretty hefty monthly expense. In 2018, the average private insurance plan cost $440 a month for an individual and $1,168 for family coverage. For that kind of dough, I could afford that trip to Japan or 5 miniature pigs.
Okay, so $440 a month. Do you think these prices have gone up or down since 2018? Okay, is that pretty crazy? Does that seem insane? Like, it's probably closer to 500 for one person a month, right? And then how much for a family?
Probably out of 1,500.
Yeah, probably closer to 1,200, 1,300 on average.
Appeal of the individual mandate within the Affordable Care Act, some younger, healthier people might be left wondering, should I pay thousands of dollars each year for a service I'll probably never use?
Take Maria here. She just graduated with a master's degree and works for a tech startup that doesn't offer health insurance or retirement options. She's making too much to qualify for subsidized health care, so she has to pay $375 a month per individual health insurance policy. But she's an avid runner, eats mostly organic, and hasn't been sick in 5 years. That money could be going to her retirement or savings to buy a house. What may happen to Maria if she decides to cancel her policy in order to fast track other financial priorities?
I think it's time to run the numbers. If Maria decides to cancel her health insurance policy, she can expect to save around $4,500 a year. But she'll still prepare for the occasional minor injury or illness by setting aside $1,000 a year for doctor visits or occasional urgent care. If she stashes what's left in a CD earning 2.5% interest in just 5 years, she'll have $18,857. Maria just has to stay relatively healthy for the next 5 years, and she's gamed the system.
Things are going fine for a while. And then, in her 3rd year of the plan, Maria is in a serious car accident. Auto insurance would only pay a fraction of her medical costs. And after all the hospital surgery and ambulance bills, Maria is $8,000 in medical debt and an additional $8,000 from credit cards she used to pay her bills while recovering. Desperate, Maria launches a GoFundMe campaign, joining the 250,000 other people who use the platform every year to try and help pay medical bills. And she ends up raising the average amount, only $3,000.
Facing $63,000 in debt, her parents decide to help. They take out a line of credit on their home, using the money to pay off Maria's debts in full. 2 years later, when Maria's dad is forced to retire because of his own health problems, they fall behind on their mortgage payments and lose the house.
Granted, the chances of a sudden costly medical problem hitting someone young and healthy like Maria are slim, but not insignificant. A 2011 survey found that people between the ages of 25 and 34 had a 1 in 10 chance of getting hit with a medical bill of $13,000 or more, and a 1 in 20 chance of at least a $27,000 bill.
Okay, let's talk about this. So let's assume there's about 30 people in this room. Let's say 30. How many of us in our young, healthy years are gonna get into an accident that's gonna cost $13,000 or more?
Probably like 3 or 4.
Yeah, about 3 of us, right? That's pretty crazy. Okay, and then about how many of us are gonna get in an accident that's gonna cost $27,000 or more? 1.5%. Yeah, maybe 2 of us, right? So just think about that. Is that worth it? What would a debt of $17,000 do to you in these young years that you guys are in? That we know are the important years to do what? What are you guys supposed to be doing in your young years?
Party up, having fun.
Other than partying and having fun.
Oh, school.
Saving, or even better is what? Starts with an I. Investing, right? We talked so much about how this is the most important time to invest. So if you're taking your young years and instead of investing, you're putting that money into paying off debt, what does that do?
Makes me want to cry.
It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry too, yeah. How long do you guys think it would take you to pay off a $17,000 debt? Working full-time at the job you're at right now?
I don't have a job, so.
Year, 2, okay, Carson says 6 months aggressive savings, okay? If you have other expenses, because you also have a house and you have other bills, maybe a couple years, okay? So that's a couple years of just paying off debt, okay? Where you can't invest, you can't do a lot. That's huge, right? That's huge in the long-term plan. So just think if this risk is worth it. If you're gonna be one of these few people in this classroom, okay, about 4-ish people that are either gonna have a $17,000 debt or a $27,000 plus debt.
Lifetime of financial damage that kind of price tag can do to you or your family, these odds are not to be taken lightly. Besides, the whole point of insurance is to protect you from really bad things that probably won't happen. No one buys insurance hoping they'll get to use it.
Is there a middle path that Maria Maria could have taken that would have allowed her to save something, but also be protected against a catastrophe.